JoshieBear plays Minecraft.
What is going on, everyone? It's JoshieBear, and we are playing the Minecraft Lucky number 13. And some things I want to show you that we've done actually in between episodes. I know we spent a lot of time beautifying the area, and I really enjoy what's happened. The computer is not enjoying it. It's like, no, you cannot see any of this. But yeah, I just wanted to start the episode coming down here, kind of show you a few additions. We, added a tree in here. We got some more moss spread around the area. I actually even came back here and added a little bit of a bone meal factory. But there's one other thing that we need to look at, and that is some new friends. That's right, we've got some new friends over here in our villager trading area. And we've got mending books for an emerald. We've got silk touch for an emerald. We've got looting 3 for an emerald, and we have feather falling 4 for an emerald. So definitely have upgraded some of my gear with with those books. And yeah, that was I guess it was like a relaxing, just kind of let's throw some villagers into the zombification chamber. Let's do a little bit of decorating while we're doing it. And yeah, well worth the effort. Oh, but that's not all. Act now, and we can go down this scaffold. And I know I talked about possibly doing a spider farm in the future, and I couldn't wait. So I got started on a spider farm here, and just yeah, we have one now. I'm going to tell you right now, it is definitely not the most efficient spider farm, or even really the best working spider farm that's ever been created. There's a lot of problems with this, and I think the trapdoors work a little bit, but there's got to be a better solution, because they do climb up, they get caught up in these corners. But as you can see, they do come over here, and we do have some space that we can just kind of chop them out and be like, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead. And we can come in here and collect all of that. I do have some space down here for some more collection. Maybe a hopper minecart to go under the magma blocks when they do come through here. But we do have a spider farm, so I've got string, I've got spider eyes, and we should be golden there for any future scaffolding building or curing of villagers, at least as far as that goes. I did find out, in doing all of this, I am very short on gold. I'm going to have to get moving on that if I really want some villager trading up here. But that is not the reason we are here today. The reason we are here today is because there's some projects that I want to get underway. I do need to finish up the storage area by putting in the other side of chests and storage, and that is going to require a lot of wood. And while I've got a lot of use out of this for this 2x2 tree farm that I put together, and our manual tree farm with our oak and birch, it takes so long to grow all the oak that you need. Birch I don't use a lot of, so I'm not as worried about how quickly we can grow that. But I definitely need oak wood as like a utility wood. I like to use oak as my building. It's my building wood for anything that I need to craft. And that brings us to this area here, because we're going to be working on 2 different projects today. One of those is a better tree farm. I would call it a semi-automatic or an industrial tree farm, which I'll walk you through here in a little bit. But we're going to end up putting that here. We might clear out some of this space, and I might even expand our 2x2 tree farm to allow us to grow even more of those types of trees in the future. But we will be building a tree farm here. This is the space that I have earmarked for it. And as you can see right next to it, we have this space dug out. Because now, while I have the skeleton farm, which will give us plenty of bone meal, there's another way that we can get bone meal. And that is through a moss farm. I've been using a lot of moss, and I would like to have a ready supply of it. But I also know that I can turn it into a bone meal farm if I need bone meal. So that's what this space is for, our moss farm. And I have gone ahead and worked out how I'm going to build these. And we're going to jump over to my creative testing world to take a look at not only the tree farm, but kind of the different iterations of the moss farm that I ended up coming up with. So here we are in my creative testing world, and this is the first project that we're going to be building today. This is my, I guess, semi-automatic tree farm. It grows the trees and collects them automatically, but you have to bone meal them and cut them down yourself, which is okay with me. But it is a quick way to get a lot of oak logs for all of your wood plank needs. Just kind of hop down here real quick. It's really just the same as the tree farm that we used in the last world. I have made a couple modifications. I've changed out the piston mechanism for observers and note blocks. And I've also changed up the leaf crusher. Instead of using sticky pistons with glass blocks, I've just used regular pistons and moved them in a block on each side. I've also added this upper level of pistons. I think it's a total of 75 pistons for everything, including my pusher over here. I don't know that I need this many pistons on top, but it kind of makes it a little bit symmetrical and even when you look at it. So this is really it. I guess we could demonstrate it if we want. So yeah, we know how this works. Boom. We bone meal. Eventually, that tree grows, and the leaf crushers go as well. Now, it does fire twice because we're using observers, but I'm okay with that. It's not a big deal. Even if we were to just sit here and hold down the right click, the sapling that we plant would get pushed, and we would just plant another sapling, and we can collect that later. Of course, everything comes down here and gets pushed into a nice little block of wood that we can cut down later. So this should be a pretty simple project. The big thing is getting all the observers I need and building all the pistons. I should have the materials for all of this, especially like the iron and the quartz. I should have to do this, and it should be a relatively quick build. Now, the second project we're going to get into today is a moss farm. I'll probably call it a bone meal farm every now and then, but really it is a moss/bone meal farm because I want to set it up in a way to where I can get both out of it. And this might take a little bit to walk through because I kind of want to take you through my thought process because I wanted to do my best to create my own. And sometimes that's not the best idea because this is the first iteration that I came up with. It seems simple. I think it's a little more complicated than it should be, and I think I made it more complicated than it should be. It's a little bit slower as well because I've only got one block of stone that generates each time. Now, the stone generator would push everything over here and everything get pushed out into a block. I have the dispenser. You can kind of see it under there. There's a dispenser there that would bone meal a moss block. We'd have this piston here to crush anything on top of that moss block, so that way we could bone meal it again. It worked okay, but as you can see, it ended up breaking itself in the end. So it wasn't the greatest design. And that leads me to the design that we're actually going to use. Now, like this design over here, it does kind of play off of a design that was highlighted by the Shulker Craft channel. Off the top of my head, I don't remember whose design it is originally. I just remember that's the channel I saw it on, and that's who highlighted this design. It kind of mixes that design along with this little mechanic here that I saw from Ethos Moss Farm on the Hermitcraft server. So I'll turn it on just to kind of show you how this works, but it's still the same stone generator on the side. There's pistons there that push it across. This moss block gets bone mealed from the side, and it converts all of the stone underneath it to the moss. The water comes and flushes everything away, including the moss that got crushed out of the way. And it runs for days. I really like this design, and I think this is going to be what we go with here. Now, I did kind of pull from our witch farm that we built in the last world to kind of use the target blocks to power the trapdoors here. And this also runs on a hopper clock on a much simpler circuit. It's really just getting the timing down for all of the mechanisms with the repeaters and whatnot. So I'm pretty happy with how this works. It's simple. It's pretty resource friendly. And if we want to, we can do something like this. This was me kind of playing around with how I could split the storage. Still have it in one place, but kind of flip a lever to see if maybe I can get the items to go either into a chest or into the composter for bone meal. As you can see, it doesn't necessarily work all that great. So I'm going to have to rethink how we split the item transport for this. But I think that's okay. That's very doable. Go ahead and shut this off. Because there's one more design I wanted to show off that's very much like this one, but it's smaller. So that way, if, you didn't need something that big. You still wanted something maybe you could fit into the corner of a base. The only difference here is it's not as wide. It's much thinner. So instead of having it 5 wide, the stone generator is only 3 wide, and it works just fine. I thought about, instead of building this smaller design instead. But I think I'm gonna go with the bigger design just so we have enough. It's not something I'm gonna run all the time either, so I think we'll be okay. All right, so now that we have the idea of what we're going to be doing, it's time to start building, and I've already started to get my resources together. So the first thing is, where do I want to start the tree farm? And I think I want this block here to be where it all grows. And I'm going to be using stone brick. I'll probably mix in some of this deep slate brick as well, just to kind of give it some life. A lot like what we did over here with the farms. I haven't figured out like detailing work yet to make it look nice, but we're gonna start by just getting everything in place first and foremost. So the first thing first, let's get our pistons at least in place, so that way we know where all of this is going. So there's our pistons. And then, if I remember right, and I do want to kind of dig out some of this, so that way I know kind of like redstone-wise where things are going. We certainly want... that's going to be redstone. Pretty sure we'll go ahead and do this because there'll be a redstone torch here. Just like that. We'll have a redstone there. Get our repeaters out. And then what we'll have is repeater. Look at that. Okay, so after that, really this is the part that we need to figure out. Let me get some more of these bricks. Now, if I use these bricks now, I'll at least be able to see where all of my redstone is if I decide to dig up through here. So it only makes sense to kind of do this in something that is not so easily broken here. So we have, pretty sure it's note block. Is it note block here? I don't remember. I think it might be note block here. No, I'm a big dumb idiot. It's note block here. Then we have, or does it? Nope. I am failing so bad already. So I'm pretty sure it's out a block, because we have to go like that, And then we have to detect here, here. And then what we do is we go boom, boom, boom. It's more like looking at that and looking at that. And I think this one needs to go. I need to place that one a little bit differently. And there we go. There is our mechanism. So if I go just like that, look at that. Look at that. And then all I got to do is just like that. Just power that. And if I put something, now let me break this here. If I put like an observer right here, no, that's not going to transfer power. So if I put a stone brick right there, it fires them. Perfect. All right, so there's still some work to do here, obviously, and I'm going to go ahead and get this side of the farm in. I'll come update you on the progress, maybe walk through a little bit how it works, and then we'll get our massive pusher over here up and running. And here is our tree farm, actually all put together. I would say less than 15 minutes to really put it all together. And that was even jumping over into my creative testing world to make sure that I had everything in place that I needed in place. But it's time to test run. Everything seems to be working. So let's find out here real quick with our first. Oh, nope. That's not going to work. There we go. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. Now it's got to eat bone meal like no one's business, as you can see, which is always the issue with these kind of farms. But we can grow it all very quickly. If I want to, I could actually grab my my fortune hoe and break out some of the leaf blocks that are already aren't broken by the leaf crushers. But if we go through here, we should be able to get ourselves enough saplings to satisfy our needs. By the last tree farm was any indication, see, I brought 8 with me, and I've already collected 4, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. I have some scaffold here to be able to climb up into these areas, to be able to gather anything that I might need. I can actually kind of run across that. Wow, I didn't expect that to work as well, but I can run across that if I need to. I could also climb up here for any kind of maintenance I might want to do. See, as you notice, there are some leaves up there. We might want to put a block like right here, just because, so we can get up here and grab those. So it looks like the tree farm is working. As you notice, I did put some stuff on the ground to kind of designate the area and where the logs would be. I've also got these fence posts here. I don't know if I'll keep those or not, but I do like the fence posts on the edge here. I'm going to hang some lanterns down from some of these to be able to take away some of the torches. Of course, we'll use our moss and bone meal and some shroom lights or whatever other kind of lighting that we can put in here to light up the area a little bit better so we don't have all the torch spam. But the tree farm is complete. Now it's on to our next project, and I do need to make a few more pistons. I was 4 short. I thought I had made enough to also account for the moss farm here, but I also need like some target blocks and things like that. But we're gonna go along the same designs here. Covering this up isn't going to be a huge task, but it is a build that I'm not prepared for today, because if we're going to do something, it'll be a structure, probably something like a villager home, but we'll try to make it look a little bit better, give it a nice little entrance that we can walk into. I just come across and almost like a warehouse that's got a beautiful facade on it. And that's kind of why I built this, or I'm going to build this into the ground, because I didn't want to have as much of a outward building project as I knew I would with the tree farm. So we'll get the inner workings into the moss farm. I also do need to figure out item collection, where I'm going to send that. And I probably will send it off into this direction, close to the tree farm. So that way, if I want to build up a bunch of bone meal for my tree farm, I can do that. Then just come over here, grab the bone meal, and grow me some trees. So I guess it's back to the homestead, so I can make all the resources I need. I do think I need to go get a bucket of lava as well, so we'll go grab that. But once I've got all that, I'll start building, and I'll give you a little bit of a progress update. All right, so barring any major catastrophes, I think we are ready to go here. One thing I want to do real quick, and I think it's put a block. I think I do want to put a block. Nope, I want to put a block there. I want to put a block right there to kind of guide that water a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna need a few. I think we will go with a few glass blocks here, so we can use. Wow, so ill prepared for all of this. All right, so now that I've actually done more than just walk over here and go, oh, yep, I should put some blocks in here. I think we're ready to finally test everything out. And believe it or not, the magic ingredient for all of this, and it's so fitting because I'm such a big fan of both of these guys. It's 12 bamboo. Now, it could be 12, any items, but when I did it in my creative world, I had bamboo on me, and the magic number of bamboo to throw into that hopper to make this work the way that I needed to was 12. So 12 bamboo is the answer to all of this. I do have a little bit of bone meal in here. I think we are ready to give this thing a go. Oop, nope, that's not going to work. And look at this. All right, so it looks like I need to put a little bit more stone in here to get this working the right way, but it is working. We can come right in here. We've got all kinds of that all ready to go. Yeah, so we're running into an issue here where we don't have enough blocks to get everything out of here, but I think we're okay. Yeah, I think we can just let it go here for a little bit and see what happens. But might be able to get a little bit of that stone in here. All right, so I grabbed a little bit of stone, and that's exactly what we needed here to get this all moving. And look at all of the moss we've already collected from this. I am more than pleased by the outcome here. And I think we're gonna have a little bit of loss here around the edge, and I think we can add in a few more target blocks to make up for that. But and I'm just making a few more of these to put along the edge here. But once we have all of that sorted out, I think we're going to be in a really good spot as far as our moss goes. And I could not be more thrilled by how well this already works. And we can already see from the little bit of time that we've been running this, we're collecting quite a bit, and I think we're out of bone meal at this point. So as we're out of bone meal, you can see it's going to just crush everything out of there and just turn it all back to stone. So now we can just come back over here, turn this off real quick, because it's not really going to do much more at this point. Until we get more bone meal in there. But yes, I am so thrilled that we've got this in. The one thing that I still need to do at this point is figure out how to get my storage sorted into two different spots, which there's probably a good way to do that with some randomize, like a randomizer or something like that to spit our items up and down, left and right, and stuff like that. I also thought about extending this waterway this way as well, so that way we can get some items going this way, some items going that way. The problem is we're going to have some items stuck in the middle, which we could also divert into a different area altogether. But I think I'm going to have to think on that part of it. But yes, I fumbled through it. I fumbled through speaking about it. But we have a working moss farm, and I'm excited about that. That's great. Well, we're back, and as you can see, I've done a little bit of cleanup around here. The trees are gone. I'm trying to decide where I want to put that part of it. I know I want to expand this manual tree farm here, and I think I might expand it to include this for like the birch trees like I had, but I don't need the oak trees growing here anymore because we have our semi-automatic tree farm. And I've done some testing with this as well as that, and we'll go check that out here in a second. But not bad. Not bad at all. And just like with the previous iteration, I'm not having any shortage of saplings here. So, we may get the fortune hoe out to kind of clear out some of those leaves, but it's not going to be necessary. Bone meal is going to be the issue. And while I was using that, I also ran this for a little while to see what kind of gains I could get. And not too bad. I've got a lot of moss blocks. Got a few flowering azaleas here. In fact, we can throw those in there. So that's working pretty well. And I also set up another direction for everything to go. To see if I could actually get some bone meal out of this. And not all of this was created from this. I would say about half of this came from this farm. I would say about a Minecraft day, maybe a little bit longer of running this. How much bone meal did I actually use? Because I filled this up before we started. It's not too bad on bone meal. So it's not going to be a supercharged farm that's going to, I guess, cure all of our needs for like moss and bone meal. Definitely for the moss blocks, but bone meal we may need to come up with another solution there. And I've got an idea, maybe with a cactus farm. But we still run into the problem of, okay, I do want to collect some cactus, but I also want to make bone meal out of it. One flaw that I have with this farm at this point, other than, it's kind of small, how I have the water set, you can see we have a source block of water right there to get the water to run both ways. This was the best place I could find to place that source block and have the least amount of items just get stuck. But we still are getting some loss here. So what I might end up doing is moving this storage out this way and actually having a water stream go in this direction, and then use some hopper chains to go to the different areas to make those happen, or we collect it in one place. I've got an idea for how we can separate the items to store and then go to bone meal without a lot of effort. Really just locking a hopper when we want moss and unlocking that hopper when we want bone meal. So I'm going to work on that just a little bit. We do need to clean up the area around it, and I haven't really done any of that yet because I know I'm going to need to expand out a little bit. But this tree farm is working very, very well. But now that I have all the wood I could ever ask for, we can finally finish up our storage area. I still love this build. I really do. Like, just walking into this place, it just makes me happy. Like, outside it's like, oh yeah, you kind of got lazy and you just used the terrain, but you go inside and things just really pop out at you. I really love the way this is turned out. Of course, we still need to put some labels on here, some item frames maybe. I'm not sure how I want to do that yet. I thought about putting the blocks in the floor, but it doesn't look all that great. And if I have dirt and grass next to each other, the grass is going to grow over to the dirt block. So I didn't want that to happen. So I'm still trying to decide how I want to label those appropriately and still be able to access the chests. But really the big thing now is to get the rest of the chests in here and the sorting mechanism in place. I also need to get a water stream that bring it back around this way and then possibly into some kind of garbage can over here for items that, bulk storage or just garbage items that I know that I'm not going to want or I don't know. But I definitely need to figure that out, and that shouldn't be too hard to do. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for this episode, though. I don't want to bore you with those details because we've already worked on this. We already did this. So I'll get that finished up, and we'll see what we get into in the next episode. I've been trying to plan out the episodes as much as possible because I can, when I go to record and I can tell I don't have a plan, it makes it a little bit more difficult to get through that episode, decide, okay, what do I need to talk about? What do I want to hit? And honestly, it's getting a little tedious. I think when the first couple episodes, we kind of freeformed it, and it felt really good. And I'm starting to get back into that whole, I need to plan everything out. I need to do this. I need to do that. And that's kind of where burnout happens. And I don't want to get burnt out because as much as I loved the last world, I've really fallen in love with this world. This is probably one of my favorite worlds by far. And, just the way it's turned out, the way we've approached it. My iron farm is such a great build. I really like it. Some people are probably like, it's not that great, but think about, it's not a unique mechanism, but it's really a unique build for the farm. I really, really like it. I'm pushing myself here a little bit, and yeah, I'm really liking this, and I want to keep playing it, and I don't want to get burnt out. So I think the next few episodes we're going to try that out. We're going to try to just kind of see what I feel like doing. If I feel like doing some decoration, we'll do some decoration. If I feel like building a farm, we'll build a farm. If I feel like doing some caving, we'll do some caving. We'll see how it goes. But of course, let's actually end it right here in front of our projects today. I'm really, really excited about getting those together. How quickly they went together. It really didn't take a lot of time to do, and it's going to make our life that much easier. Hopefully, it inspires you to make your own. Or, feel free to copy this one. I don't care. It's not like this is anything unique. I don't own the copyright. But if it did, leave a comment below. Let me know how it works out for you, or what kind of improvements you think I can make. Those kind of things. Because let's face it, you probably know better than I do. But yes, leave your comments about anything if you really want. I'm not concerned about what you say. I'm just gonna fling my arm around for emphasis. If that's okay with you. It seems to be the thing that you do when you're in third-person mode. But after you leave that comment, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, tell all your friends. Peer pressure is good in this situation, not so good in others. But that's how we spread the word. That's how we grow. And I don't know, take over the world? Let's do that. All right, I'm JoshieBear. I'm going to stop rambling. I'm out of here. I'll see you later.